You told us you were going to give us a definite prediction. Let's hear it.
Well, right, I'll tell you what to watch out for Waterford. We've mentioned him yet, Owen Kelly. Owen Kelly's the free taker today for him. A huge responsibility on Owen Kelly today. He's the free taker. He's been playing very badly up to now. He scored 6 points against Cork in the Munster semi-final last year. If he hits that form, then Cork could win, that Waterford could win this game. But I'm sticking with the champions. I think they're only coming into form now. Now they're in Croke Park, they're only 2 steps away from the big one, and I think they won't falter today.
The champions of Gerald Nan, Cyril Farrell.
Yeah, like my heart would love Waterford in for their sake, in the sense they've soldiered long and hard, and Waterford fantastic support. But your head would have to say Cork, like as Gerald was alluded to there a while ago, they're only just doing enough to win. But like maybe Limerick didn't get the credit they deserved. They're very physical, very tough, hard team to play against. And to me, like Cork, when it comes down to a tight one, Cork are still the best in a tight corner.
It's the champions according to the panellists. We're all set to go then. Enjoy the game. Here's Gerard Canning and Michael Duignan.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. It is a wonderful setting. I think for 2 weeks now, since those quarterfinals, people have waited and longed for this day to come. It's a perfect afternoon for it. There is little or no breeze around. We had some drizzle, as you'll have noticed, during the Christy Ring Cup final. Well, that has eased now. Ground might be a little bit slippery, but, well, it's the meeting of the champions of the last 2 years against a side who've come very, very close to getting there, within touching distance of All-Ireland finals in recent years, but never quite able to make it. It's always been that little bit out of their reach. Will today be Waterford's day? I met a man in a Cork replica shirt on his way into Croke Park this morning, and he said to me, he said, I'd love Waterford to get to the final if it weren't for the fact that they're playing my county today. And I think in a way, Michael, that summed it up for an awful lot of people.
Yeah, well, I think, all neutrals around the country will be in Waterford's camp today. It's nothing against Cork. They're great champions for the last 2 years. And they have been on the road themselves since 1999, a lot of them, you know. And I suppose that's the question mark we've been asking. Can Cork keep up this? Have they got the hunger? They have the motivation of 3 in a row, but deep down, you know, can they come back for more in these tight matches? And they have been hanging on by a thread. So that's why I'm sort of in the Waterford camp today. But you just don't know. It really depends on the performance.
There'll be no charity there. If Waterford are going to win it, they're going to have to win it the hard way against a championship team that have gone 12 matches unbeaten.
Yes, Cork are battle-hardened. They're mentally very, very strong. And that would be Waterford's deficiency maybe over the years. I've criticised them in the past for lacking discipline, maybe leaking soft goals, giving away soft frees. So that's the first thing they have to concentrate on today, is look after their full back line. No little slips, no soft goals. Joe Dean, Brian Corcoran and Ben O'Connor are lethal. If they get a half chance, Cork aren't a big goal scoring team, but they do score goals against Waterford. So Waterford need to cut that out and hurl to the full of their ability to win today. But I just have a feeling that it could be their day.
Cork don't do panic. In the last few minutes of that game against Limerick 2 weeks ago, you know, people were saying it's very close, they're hanging on in there, just about getting over the finishing line, but they never ever panicked. There was always somebody there who was going to lift the game, get the vital scores and get that extra edge.
Well, they have huge leaders, Gerard. That's what a leader is. A leader is not necessarily the flashiest player in the world. It's the player who'll stand up and be counted. And Cork have different leaders every day. It's Curran some days, Gardner, Sean O'G, Brian Murphy, but generally the O'Connors, Tom Kenny, Brian Corcoran, Joe Dean, any one of them can be match winners. Waterford have those players, but maybe not with the same consistency. But that's what Waterford need all their big guns to fire today, whereas Cork can maybe do without so many of their big guns firing. And just a little aside, I see Donald Logue with one of those gloves on his left hand. That's his catching hand, and they're fairly awkward. There's fairly thick rims on them, so you know, if the drop of rain came down, that could prove very awkward today for him.
Well, there he is. Very much more than just the goalkeeper of this team. He's the starting point for most of their attacks. He can control the tempo of the counter-attacks as well. There's the glove that Michael is talking about. He's also able to dictate whether it's going to be a short or a long puck out or a clearance. He's so important, and you've seen so many other young goalkeepers around the country, Michael, in recent times trying to emulate what he can do brilliantly, and they fall fairly short.
I was talking to Tomas Mulcahy about this a couple of weeks ago. He says every club goalie in Cork is trying to be like Donald Logue, because he makes it look simple with his pinpoint ball 50-60 yards straight into your hand. But you need a goalie to be able to do that, and you need the guy receiving the ball to be able to pick it up without dropping it or whatever. So, you know, it's a bit like watching a dangerous sport on television. Don't try to copy it at home.
Well, Cork have got through so far against Clare, Tipperary, Limerick, and now it's Waterford, and this is the Guinness All-Ireland semi-final. ready for action. The music supplied by the St. Michael's band from Enniskillen. It's Brian Gavin from Offaly who's in charge. Cork seeking to get into the All-Ireland final for the 4th year in a row. Where Waterford are concerned, they're looking to get there for the first time in 43 years. Waterford won the toss, playing from left to right in the first half, as they did in the quarter-final when they played against Tipperary here 2 weeks ago. Early stalemate there in the Cork half-back line, and back to help out Jerry O'Connor inevitably. Clashing there immediately with Owen Kelly. Waterford there in numbers on their own half-back line. Tony Brown here. Wonderful warrior that he is, hooked by Jerry O'Connor. Waterford needing additional players to help out. Declan Prendergast coming across here now. Tom Kenny trying to get it up onto the stick. Fair amount of rain earlier on here. Kenny setting off 50 metres out from goal. He's got a support player. It's Niall McCarthy. First touch not great. Immediately closed down and foul. The referee has decided. Ken McGrath getting in and close. Owen Kelly was there as well. This was Niall McCarthy. Couldn't quite take it up there, but anyway, Ken McGrath was in on top of him, and that'll be an opening free for Cork and for Joe Dean. So a first opportunity then for Joe Dean. Man from Killa is just inside the 45-metre line. On a still afternoon, this should be the opening score if he's on his game, and he is. First score going to Cork. Just over a minute gone. Happy fans. And the fans from Cork, of course, feel somewhat aggrieved, and well they might, having had to come to Croke Park here 2 days running, which was pretty poor planning, I have to say. Referee out around the middle of the field, having words. Clinton Hennessy with the puck out. Huge one down. Intended for Seamus Prendergast. Runs loose there. Jack Kennedy trying to prod it on. It's knocked away out of danger there by Pat Mulcahy, the Cork captain, scrambling for it. A fair old scramble, and it's Timmy McCarthy here. Nobody on him. Chance of another score, and he's put it over the bar. The much-maligned Timmy McCarthy from Castlelyons gets his first point of this match, but the marking was poor because James Murray was being held off Timmy McCarthy that time, and that was a great finish.
Yeah, Jared, I see Neil Runn to start at top of the right with Ben O'Connor out here at left half forward. That's interesting. Bit more experience maybe on Tony Brown, putting Ben O'Connor out there. And a great score by Timmy McCarthy, who's much maligned, you know, but that'll settle him down, and he's a big, strong athlete. He's going to trouble James Murray there today.
Cork right now trying to win the ball back in the centre of the park. Jerry O'Connor. Lots of the players having trouble getting the ball up in their sticks. John Milan, the one who succeeds, leaves it short. Donald O'Cusack having a good look around, then opting to go long. None of your short passing stuff this time. Way down, brilliantly caught by Ken McGrath. Up into a top of the right situation there. Michael Brick Walsh has started at full forward. That ball's gone wide. Puck out to Cork. I wonder how long Michael Welch will actually stay there. Ken McGrath already very much a central figure in today's drama at Croke Park. That was a great catch, getting there ahead of Brian Corcoran. Donald O'Cusack with the puck out, trying to place it, succeeds. Niall McCarthy, he fumbles again. Second time that's happened to him. O'Halpine was in quickly. Now McCarthy recovering. Chase there. Comes back here to Ronan Curran. Away there by Brian Murphy with some difficulty. Niall McCarthy again. Lots of pressure on the man on the ball every time. Brian Corcoran lost his stick. Ronan tries to pick it up. Got into the corner as you heard. Here's Ken McGrath. Clearance needs to be accurate now. It is. Up as far as Owen Kelly. Quick look up here. It's Owen McGrath who's coming in. It's a hurry that was flying. And once again, Donald O'Cusack makes a magnificent catch. That's a great save by the goalkeeper. That's a great catch by James Murray. Left half back for Waterford. All the way up towards Dan Shanahan on his own. Momentarily, that is. Oh, he fumbled. Finally gets it out as far as John Milan. Under pressure there from Brian Murphy. Loads and loads of pressure being exerted. Milan that time, and it's a bit of a shot blocked down. It's going to be a 65. It's a game of very high intensity. What about that for a stop moments earlier by Donald O'Cusack? He had Owen McGrath coming in on top of him. This was not easy. This was terrific goalkeeping.
Absolutely, Jaron, and obviously with an injured hand. But what a passage of play. Brilliant catch by Donald Logue, started it. Ken McGrath, Owen Kelly, all involved, John Milan. And I suppose a feature so far is the amount of players slipping around the place. I noticed it just watching the football at home and telly. The ground is obviously rock hard. We've had a few showers, maybe the pitch watered earlier in the week, and I see players falling all over the place out there at the moment. And you know, that's where soft goals can occur. Someone slips and someone breaks inside.
Ken McGrath dropping it in short, and it's again stopped on the line. That was so dangerous. Donald O'Cusack again making a wonderful stop, because he must have seen that very, very late indeed. That went all the way through. I think people were anticipating Ken McGrath would just lob it over the bar from the 65, but it dropped in there, and the goalkeeper got a very late view of this one. It was flying past the stick there, I think, of Pat Mulcahy.
Yeah, I think it came off maybe Tom Kent. Yeah, Pat Mulcahy's hurl there. A brilliant save by Donald Logue. And I suppose with Dave Bennett and Paul Flynn missing, you know, the free tackle is hugely important for Waterford today. And Ken McGrath and Owen Kelly, the two free tackles, have to be putting those away.
Pressure now on Declan Prendergast. That's going to be a line ball to Cork. They've got the opening 2 scores. 6 minutes gone. Coming up to take this one will be Tom Kenny. Man from Granada who's really established himself in the centre of the field alongside Jerry O'Connor. Dickie Murphy taking the stick away. Clinton Hennessy is ready inside. It's stopped again by Ken McGrath, covering off his full back line really, really well, out as far as Brian Phelan. Huge one down towards Owen McGrath this time. It sails in there towards Michael Brick Walsh, taking on David O'Sullivan, and the referee sees some tugging back on the part of David O'Sullivan. The Rock stopping the brick this time, and no doubt about it, free in. Should be Waterford's first point. Referee Brian Gavin from Offaly having words with the brick, or with the Rock. Here's Owen Kelly. That'll do. Over the bar. So it's 2 points to 1.
Yeah, nice easy free to settle him. I was watching him before the game practicing, and he looked to be striking the ball very, very well.
Just got a glimpse there of the umpire having a word with Donald Logan, having a look at the sliotar before he was allowed back into play. So much talk about the sliotars that are being used in the modern game, in particular when Cork seem to play. That's back once again there by Ben O'Connor this time. Pressure on Tom Feeney. Little fumble again there by Feeney. This time it's Brian Corcoran coming across. Players having difficulty with their first touch. Nicely into the clear here for Tom Kenny to hit from the angle, and it's over the bar. Good score by Tom Kenny. 3 points to 1.
That ball really should have been clear, Gerard. Overplayed by Tom Kenny and lost, or by Tom Feeney, and Tom Kenny onto it, and good score, but the ball should have been 90 yards up the field.
Oof, some jump in the air that time by Sean O'Halpine. Didn't come down with the ball, however. Jerry O'Connor back there, challenged by John Milan. Everybody appealing for it. It's going to be a Cork ball. Linesman on the near side is Fergus Smith from Meath. John Allen busy up and down the line. And his counterpart, another Cork man, Justin McCarthy. O'Halpine, not such a good line ball that time. Again, Jerry O'Connor busy as ever. This time it's going to be a Waterford line ball, it seems. A little bit of hesitation on the linesman's part initially.
I think it's a wrong decision. Jared just comes off Owen Kelly there, just tips it out.
Yeah, it certainly did. Big day for Owen Kelly. A day when he really has to turn on the style for Waterford if they're to make progress and get into this year's final. Tony Brown from Mount Sion coming up to hit this one as the mist begins to come down once again on Croke Park, and that's gone flying through. There's a lot of nervous tension around.
There is, Jared. You know, Tony Brown is very experienced, but he should be switching to play with that line ball, making sure it stays in play. The conditions are very, very slippy out there, but I think both teams will be happy. Cork are showing their experience, settling very quickly, whereas Waterford will be happy enough. Got a point there, beginning to play really well, especially Ken McGrath at centre half back. So both teams happy enough at this stage.
Again, there's slip sliding over there, and it's certainly a major factor for players everywhere. That time now McCarthy the one who slipped. We're watching Neil Ronan.
See, Jerry, it's a difficult situation for players. The ground underneath is so hard. If you wear 6 studs, there's risk of serious injury really out there on that pitch. So you have to wear maybe the multi-cogs, and then you can't hold your feet. So it's a catch-22 situation for the players.
Certainly is so far. Ken McGrath to hit this one from his own 65-metre line. Good connection this time. That's on target. Second free taken by Ken McGrath, and that one lands over the bar to make it 3 points to 2 after 10.5 minutes of play. He was 65 metres out from his own goal, and the Waterford fans are happy. Cork still with the lead. Still at the settling down stage of this game. Brian Phelan trying to get the ball out, but only as far as Ben O'Connor, who switched from an early stage into Tom Kenny, and Tom Kenny took too many steps. It's got to be a free to Waterford. Elementary mistake there by the player from Granada.
Yeah, Jaron, I noticed Dan Shanahan gone to top of the right, and Sean Oak has followed him, which is interesting. Brian Murphy wouldn't be a natural wing back. He's out on John Milan, so obviously a man-marking job for Sean Oak for the day.
Ken McGrath lobbing it in. Shanahan's in there. They're all in there, and the goalkeeper has it, and that's his third very important intervention. John Gardner getting it away down the field for Cork to Timmy McCarthy. Big ball in. Drops kindly there for Owen Murphy from Shamrocks. Lots of pressure on. Ronan Curran waits for it, supported by Kenny. Back it comes once again to Tom Kenny, who can fly. Owen Kelly's after him. Kelly unable to hook Tom Kenny, and that one has gone wide, and it's Cork's first wide of the match.
Yeah, it's the one area where, here's the ball in again to Donal Logue. And Dermot O'Sullivan missed it completely. A super take again by Donal Logue. If you just watch Dermot O'Sullivan, he misses the ball completely there. And really Donal Logue very, very sharp. But Cork really have an advantage in the middle of the field, and Waterford need to get into the game there.
He certainly is very sharp. He's mopping up everything. Jerry O'Connor now down. Neil Ronan chasing after it. Tom Feeney there as well, still in play. Picking it up as Declan Prendergast, and that's out over the end line, and that ball has gone wide. Loads of pressure on both goal areas. 5 points shared so far. John Allen in a pensive mood. Stakes so high this afternoon. Clinton Hennessy dropping it over there to left half forward. Dan Shanahan being pursued everywhere he goes by Sean O'Halpine. This ball is short. It's to Owen Kelly. Low inside. Again, Ronan Curran having difficulty holding his feet, but managing to do so. Down towards Neil Ronan. Once again, it's won there by Declan Prendergast. Under ferocious pressure. Out over the sideline. And Dickie Murphy, the linesman over there, signals that it's gone off the Waterford player. It's a Cork line ball.
Yeah, I think that's a facet of the Cork play that largely goes unnoticed there. We've talked about it before, but the forward line put fierce pressure on any backline that they're playing against them. It really, even if a clearance does go in, it's a half-hit clearance, and it really helps their backs.
And their half-forward line in particular are so good at doing that. Meanwhile, it's down to the full forward, to the inimitable Brian Corcoran, making an angle for himself, as he usually does so well, and does so here. Great point by Brian Corcoran. It's almost his trademark at this stage. Picks it up towards the end line, makes his way out towards the 20-metre line, and a more favourable angle, hitting it off his left. Great stroke. 4 points to 2 in favour of the champions.
Yeah, he's much more comfortable off his backhand, as we call it, and it's not his good side. He's obviously naturally right-handed, but a lot of forwards are like that. It just have a shorter swing at the ball and more accurate from his left side.
Well, that's Tom Feeney who's down there in some trouble. And straight away the doctors and the physios are in. The doctor, Tom Higgins, Justin McCarthy there with his selectors. You can see Nicky Cashin on the left-hand side. Shamie Hannon there as well. couldn't afford to lose their fullback at this stage, because it's been a problem area for Waterford over the years. Thomas played cornerback, as we know. He's played in different positions, and he's doing a reasonably good job at number 3 this season, filling what is a very difficult position for the Dacia. Seems to be okay. Shea Fitzpatrick and Siobhan Fitzpatrick, the physios, have worked the oracle this time. Puck out to Waterford. Clinton Hennessy made his championship debut against Cork last year. That was in the quarterfinals. This is towards Shanahan. Runs on beyond him. Prendergast laying it off here for Owen Kelly to come on to. Letting fly. Doesn't look happy in himself just yet. Trying to find his rhythm. It's still Waterford who have Kelly and Phelan as their midfield pairing. There was speculation that Michael Welch might go out there early on. There's also lots of speculation, by the way, that Paul Flynn could come in pretty soon in the game if Waterford are in trouble. Here's Niall McCarthy. Again, he stumbled. The footwork there not helping him. The greasy surface. He turned around, took too many steps with it. Free to Waterford.
Yeah, but Jared's worrying how easily he was picked out by Donal Logue. The Cork midfielders are staying very, very deep, and they're leaving loads of room in front of the half-forward line. And Donal Logue picked him out easier, and he did just turn a couple of times, but, you know, again, slipped on the ball.
It's like they're walking on ice. Ken McGrath having a right good look. He's next to the halfway line. Well within his range, but he's put it left. A missed opportunity, and that's 4 wides now for Waterford. Missing Paul McGrath's, Paul Flynn's free taking, and of course Dave Bennett as well out injured. That could be a very important factor.
It is. A day like today, frees are going to be hugely important, especially early on, to keep you in the game, because there's very little open play at the moment.
Well, the wide so far, 4-2 in Waterford's favour, unfortunately, from their point of view. 4-2 for Cork, where it matters most, however, with the points. O'Halpine trying to get the ball out. Just did enough on that. Out as far as John Gardner. Away out to top of the right here, beyond Timmy McCarthy this time. Asking a lot of Brian Corcoran. Tom Feeney out there first. Feeney, he used to play at club hurling with SARS in Cork. Now back once again with Ballyduff Upper. Lots and lots of pressure being exerted by the Cork half-forward line. Again, Tom Feeney called upon. Decent clearance this time, up towards right half-forward. John Milan there, winning his duel this time. Getting away, there's a couple of Cork players after him. One of them is Ben O'Connor, has gone up with him. Sean O'Halpine there as well, trying to roll it up into his stick. Then it's Jerry O'Connor, and they, between them, knock it out over the line, and it's going to be a Waterford sideline ball. Jerry O'Connor not too pleased with the linesman, you can see. This was wonderful by John Milan, but Ben was coming in, and then the reinforcements arrived. Ended up being a sideline ball. Owen Kelly looking for a repeat of the wonderful performance that he gave against Cork. Do you remember it in the Munster semi-final?
They do 6 points from play, yeah. The Cork midfield really have been on top since the start, particularly Tom Kenny over the Brian Phelan, natural wing back.
Kelly not the best of connections, in as far as Michael Welch. Again, down to ground he goes, fouled by Jerry O'Connor. Referee shows the notebook to Cork's number 9. Free to Waterford. Not the classic so far that everybody had hoped for.
Yeah, the conditions are having a big bearing on it, though, Jeremy. We've talked about players are finding it very, very hard, and it's a kind of a mist. It's not really raining fully, but it's leaving a very slippy surface on top.
So a chance once again here for Waterford to get within a point of Cork. The 2 points so far coming from frees, and Owen Kelly now looking for his second point of free of the day, and that one is inside the right-hand post, over the bar safely, and it's 4 points to 3. Real cat-and-mouse situation in the opening 19 minutes.
You see here, Tom Kenny is only on the 50-yard line, and Jerry O'Connor on the 70-yard line. They're leaving acres of space up the field. I feel Waterford should drop back and let their corner forwards and wing forwards pick up those loose men and move their midfield right back into their half-back line.
Cork showing know-how. Waterford trying to counter. Back there with Brian Phelan from the De La Salle club. Huge one up towards Dan Shanahan. spills away from him there as Sean O'Halpine comes out, challenged by Milan, gets it out into the centre of the park. Jerry O'Connor once again trying to kick it forward here. Ben O'Connor's there as well, but so too Tony Brown, former hurler of the year. That's James Murray, left half back, huge run forward. John Gardner coming across, first touch, not great, he slips there. So many other players are doing. Here's Jack Kennedy. Tricky playing conditions for the players. That's a bad ball, straight to Sean O'Halpine. Cork may benefit from that. All the way down towards Joe Dean, got to stick to it. On towards Brian Corcoran. Trying to make a better angle for himself. Succeeds, great shot. 2 shots for Brian Corcoran, 2 points for the man from Erin's Own, and it's 5 points to 3. Wonderful individual score. Cork playing themselves out of difficulty, but it was a bad misplaced pass by Waterford that set up Sean O'Halpine to set up Brian Corcoran. The end result you saw.
Leadership is a word we use, Gerwin. That's leadership from Corcoran. 2 balls into 2 brilliant scores, and he's really the only forward from play that has got a score so far, and he's really on top of his game.
Let's go down to the sideline to Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Gerald. A lot of tension obviously on the pitch, a lot of tension along the sideline as well. First time I saw 2 Cork men jostle for a ball. One happened to be Justin McCarthy, the Waterford manager, and Jerry Wallace, the ball boy here for the Cork hurling team. Also on a serious note, a lot of worry in the Waterford camp about the performance of Tom Feeney on Brian Corcoran at full back.
Thank you, Marty. Well, we saw that Tom Feeney was injured earlier on. I wonder if that had any bearing on it so far. Ronan Curran, who'll be happier with his form so far in this match. He was really given a torrid time by Seamus Prendergast this time last year. And there's the notebook now being shown to Tony Brown for that foul. Free to Cork. Brian Gavin in there quickly to indict the Waterford player. So silly mistakes being made by Waterford. Cork playing within themselves. Fans, I suppose, moderately happy so far. Pressure on Clinton Hennessy's goal.
Yeah, and Waterford are making a lot of changes up front. They're trying this rotating forward system. Like at the moment, Prendergast is in corner, John Milan is full, Michael Walsh is central. They're all over the place, and none of them really have settled. I think they'd be better off to leave them for 15 or 20 minutes now and let them settle into their roles.
This is Ben O'Connor. High shot which has gone to the right, and it's gone wide. A third wide now for Cork. Ben doesn't miss too many like that. Beaten here in the club final, of course, back on St. Patrick's Day. Portumna from Galway getting the better of Newton Chandrum, and Ben was very clearly impeded that day with an injury. A little better today. Cork clearing their lines there through Pat Mulcahy. Out towards Timmy McCarthy once again, showing the appetite for hard work. Back to John Gardner, the Napiershik's player. Beyond McCarthy, in as far as Ben O'Connor, getting by Tony Brown. 45 metres out from goal. Again, the ball has gone to the right. Another missed opportunity by Ben O'Connor and Cork. Neither side playing particularly brilliantly so far. Far from brilliant, in fact.
Yeah, normally you nearly expect Ben O'Connor to take on that ball, you know, but Tony Brown put him under a good bit of pressure.
Game lacking a bit of sparkle. Lots of energy. Well, the scoring chances, as you can see, they have been cancelling one another out where that's concerned, creating 9 chances per team. And an opportunity now for Owen Kelly just to dry the handle of the hurley, to give himself every opportunity. This is about 48 metres out from the Cork goal. This to put 1 between them. And all of Waterford's scores have come from frees. Owen Kelly now with 3 to complement the long-range one by Ken McGrath earlier on, and it's 5 points to 4.
Yeah, and I think Waterford will be the happier team, Jared. They haven't really started to hurl, and they're only a point in it. You know, Cork have created some good chances, but Waterford doing very little right at this stage, but only a point behind.
And there was a lot of early pressure on Donald O'Cusack's goal, which he did really well to repel. This comes out as far as Niall McCarthy, standing his ground here. An enterprising ball in, the keeper comes, he commits himself, he does really well. Good secure goalkeeping by the man from Ardmore. Huge one up towards Seamus Prendergast, who hasn't really got into the game so far. Back here, helping out for Cork, Ronan Curran. Nice ball, perfect delivery to Niall McCarthy. Going really, really long, but the forwards inside having no chance whatsoever of making anything of that. Well, Clinton Hennessy has been busy. Both goalkeepers have been busy and both have been very, very sharp. Clinton Hennessy playing in his 7th championship match this afternoon.
A huge puck out.
This is a huge one, as you say. And there's no wind around. And that is Jim O'Sullivan keeping that ball away from John Milan. It'll be a line ball to Waterford. Going across to hit it once again will be Owen Kelly. Without playing anyway as well as they can, Waterford are just a point behind the champions.
Yeah, it's very stop-start. I don't know if it's suiting anybody. There's very little open play. No ball into either set of full forward lines. In fairness, John Milan, Joe Dean, Neil Rowan, none of them have got a nice ball in front of them that they could take on their man.
They wait inside. Meanwhile, Owen Kelly is drying the stick once again. 3 so far from frees. This one miscued. And that's gone off the legs of one of the Cork backs. It'll be another Waterford possession from the sideline. Interesting to see where Dan rotates to throughout the game here, between half forward, the corner, into full forward on occasions. Wherever he goes, Sean O'Halpine goes with him. Owen Kelly ready to hit. Little chip this time, runs away towards Dan Shanahan, further away from goal, needs Tony Brown, leaves it behind there to Ben O'Connor, who tracked them the whole way. The delivery down towards Niall McCarthy, keeping it away from Ken McGrath, doing well this time, and McCarthy's away. Coming in to close him down, James Murray. They work it forward here into space. Waterford have players there. One of them is Owen Murphy, about to be challenged by Timmy McCarthy. Murphy doing really well. Up along the line, but John Gardner gets there first. 65 metres out from the Waterford goal. Returned with interest, but to the right and badly wide of the target. Good pressure that time on John Gardner as he was about to play that ball in. So another wasted opportunity. That kind of match.
Yeah, Niall McCarthy, I think, doing very well on Ken McGrath the last 10 minutes or so, but he's not using the possession. You know, he had a bad wide a moment ago, and there again, he had a chance to really head for the goals. A bit of hesitancy and lost possession and cleared back up the field.
Well, I'm sure that one of the tasks they will have set Niall McCarthy is to curb Ken McGrath's presence and threat in this game.
Yeah, he's doing that, but he still has to use the ball better. Germany gets it.
Ronan Curran under pressure there from Michael Walsh, who's moved down onto the 40 in the last couple of minutes. Crisply away there by Brian Murphy. Down to Ben O'Connor, ready to take off. His twin brother Jerry's to his left. Too far ahead, mopped up by Ken McGrath. Other as far as James Murray. Huge one down. Dan Shanahan anticipating, trying to get inside O'Halpine, but it runs on, and there was no way in the world that he was going to be able to contain that. And he looks back at the pucker and says, well, what did you put that ball in with such pace for? Not the best of passes towards Dan Shanahan. The idea might have been right.
Just caught a glimpse there of his tattoo, Jared. I don't know if you know what that reads or not, on the inside of Dan Shanahan's arm. If you don't know me, don't judge me.
Oh, nice.
An interesting one. I just saw it in the paper yesterday.
James Murray under pressure from Timmy McCarthy, helped out by Declan Prendergast. They get it out into the centre here. Neil Ronan trying to pick it up. He's got it. He takes off. Owen Kelly after him. Never runs in straight lines, zigging and zagging. Difficult to contain. Breaks down here. Brian Corcoran's blocked this time. Tom Feeney sweeping it out. Out only as far as the man wearing number 12, Neil Ronan, and that one has gone over the bar. That was the result of sheer persistence and good pressure play by the Cork forwards, refusing to yield to the Waterford backs that time. When it came out here to the Ballyhay player, it was a relatively easy tap over to make it 6-4. But all of the pressure was on Tom Feeney and the rest of the Waterford backs. Good combined play, and Cork benefit as a result. Here's Jerry O'Connor, trying to open up a gap now. Down towards Brian Corcoran, waited. It came in over his left shoulder.
Well, the ball seems to be really travelling a long way. It's very heavy here, light air here today, and the ball is travelling. The minute it hits the ground, it's gone. It's bouncing off the slippy ground and bouncing wide.
Two sides cancelling one another out to a fair extent so far in this game. That's a nice pick up there by Tom Kenny. They're chasing after him, nobody able to get close enough to him. It's John Milan who's trying to get in a challenge. Next is James Murray. It's still Kenny. Beyond Ken McGrath. Couldn't cut it out. Joe Dean seizing on it. Back to Ben O'Connor, stepping into two challenges. One of them was Tony Brown, the other was Ken McGrath. And in the end, Owen Murphy gets it up as far as Owen McGrath. 50 metres out, trying to go by Ronan Curran. Nice ball towards Michael Walsh. The brick coming forward. And he's fouled there by Pat Mulcahy. And it's going to be a free in for Waterford. And the referee calling aside John Gardner. Just watch it again here. He was allowed to continue and continue up to that point there. Referee then blew his whistle. And that's going to be at least a ticking, if not a yellow card. It's a yellow card for John Gardner. First of the match. Well, it's a warning. It now means that Waterford can get once again within a point of the champions. Donald Cusack ready, just in case it drops short. It doesn't, and Owen Kelly sweeps it over the bar. It's his fourth pointed free.
No Waterford forward has scored. 30 minutes gone in the game, but they are forcing frees, whereas on the other side, Joe Dean has hit one free, Ben O'Connor missed one. That's all the frees the Waterford backline have given away. And we often criticise their discipline, but today they're very, very disciplined, and some great tackles going in from Tony Brown there in the last few minutes, and directly from his tackle that last score came.
Justin McCarthy must be pretty happy. Donald Cusack to puck it out. Tony Brown, great catch. Nicely back. Maybe after the tense opening, it will now open up a little bit. Again, they're having difficulty holding their feet. It's a major concern for the management of both teams, but more particularly for the players. Sean O'Halpine. Now McCarthy touching it down. Ben O'Connor anticipating. Has a support player outside. It's Timmy McCarthy. Looking for a second point, and he's got it. Two from play for Timmy McCarthy. Really, really good play by the number 10. Having a good season. It was swept right across the line here. There was the extra player there before James Murray could get in a challenge. It's 7 points to 5. Pressure once again. Again, the Waterford forward line not gaining primary possession. The two midfielders for Cork combine, and it's Tom Kenny who gets it down into the corner. Brian Corcoran trying to keep it in play, and he succeeded. Just stayed on the line there. Tom Feeney trying to get away, and he was being fouled. Not much in that, I think. Free awarded. John Allen not pleased.
Cork are combining a lot better. They're using the ball, and you just feel that if they get 3 or 4 points up, like they're on a bit of a roll here. Maybe not putting away all their chances, but really they're getting on top of the half-back line and using possession much better than Waterford at this stage.
Ken McGrath. David O'Sullivan reaches for it, couldn't hold it. It's a line ball. The line ball will be to Waterford. Or is it? It's the other way around. Must have been a Waterford player who got it last. O'Halpine goes very short, dangerously so. Dan Shanahan, and Dan Shanahan has put it over the bar. A mistake by Sean O'Halpine, a gift for Waterford for Dan Shanahan. He's the first player from Waterford to score from play, and the first forward, of course, to score as well for the Dacia. 7 points to 6. That was a right howler. Well, we don't see too many mistakes like that being made by Sean O'Halpine. Mishit it, didn't spot Dan Shanahan, his man coming in behind him. This breaks down here once again towards Neil Ronan. Quick look around to see who's available. A fumble by Jerry O'Connor. Quickly seized down there by Tony Brown. Over his right shoulder. Jerry O'Connor comfortably under it, running into the challenge there of Seamus Prendergast. Released there once again to Ronan Curran. Tom Feeney coming out. He's commanding. Hurley's break. The Hurley that time of Brian Corcoran tried to block. Owen Murphy stepping out over the line. Ball still in play. Brian Phelan couldn't take it. Instead, It's a really good effort from some distance out, and there's a second for Neil Ronan.
I think that passage of play epitomises Brian Corcoran's importance to the team. You know, Tom Kenny got the ball, Corcoran blocked him down, and it led to a score. Great defensive play there by Brian Corcoran from the full forward position.
Well, they're prepared to put everything on the line to get those vital edges, and they've edged 2 points ahead of Waterford at this stage. Well, there'll be an additional 1 minute of playing time left at the end of the opening half. John Mullane now cracking this one over the bar. His first. Waterford beginning to play in the forward line. That's 2 points now from play. That's the best they've produced so far. John Mullane making it 8-7. We're in stoppage time.
Yeah, Jared, the game will open up. You know, a couple of good scores there from play, and let's hope for more of that now. Prendergast very strong in the air there.
Cusack's puck out. Couple of Waterford players there anticipating. James Murray getting there. They'd love to go in level. Brian Phelan. Huge one in towards Dan Shanahan trying to break it. Mullane's there anticipating. Awkward enough angle. The umpires look, it's good. They're level. Mullane's got a second. It's 8-all. In stoppage time. Waterford have played this really, really well. Dan Shanahan, a menacing figure. O'Sullivan unable to get it out. And Mullane in there to profit. Good point from a very tricky angle. Another brilliant score by John Mullane. We await the puck out. There mightn't be much left after that of this first half. That's it. Brian Gavin blows the whistle. Bit of a cat and mouse first half. Waterford will go in happier. They've come back strongly. For a long, long time, all their points were coming from frees. But late scores there by Dan Shanahan and 2 from Mullane will have pleased Waterford fans a great deal better. Donald O'Cusack has been busy from the word go. Brian Corcoran has been excellent up front, really putting himself about for John Allen's team in a perfectly legitimate way to try and create chances for others. And the teams, just as they started 35 minutes ago, go in at half-time, level. It's Cork 8 points, Waterford 8 points. And we'll have all the analysis coming up after the break. No changes on either team, but Michael Brick-Welch has gone to midfield, as you can see, and Owen Kelly has gone up to full forward.
He's actually gone into the corner now, Ger, and Sean Oga's gone back on him with Brian Murphy playing on the wing on John Mullane.
Let's see how it pans out. Pat Mulcahy then to take it for Cork. Stymie Waterford in their first attack of the second half. Up once again here towards Neil Ronan, stopped brilliantly. That's Brian Phelan settling to the task. James Murray now for Waterford, trying to set them in front in this game. That's a lovely little ball to McGrath. Owen McGrath, and again, wonderful stop. Second time of asking, it's still there, it's in! Owen Kelly! First minute of the second half, Owen Kelly comes in for just his second ever goal in the championship. Watch the saves here from Owen McGrath first of all. There's number 1. Here's McGrath again, stopped again, twice, but banged in by Owen Kelly. And his only other goal was against Cork in the 2004 Munster final. Is that an omen? 1-8 to 8 points.
Ger, what a start to the second half. A brilliant flick by Dan Shannon, if we get a chance to look at it again. Brilliant touch. Owen McGrath should have put it away. 2 great saves by Donald Logue, and then a little tap in by Owen Kelly. What a start.
Well, now the pressure on the champions. Waterford have come up fired out for this second half. Back they are, defending. Tony Brown lashing it away down the field. Taken down by Pat Mulcahy with difficulty. Pressure applied by Jack Kennedy. Well, that's given Waterford a huge lift in such a tight match. It took them so long to get their first score from play. Didn't come until very late in that first half. And they're off again here with Seamus Prendergast. Denied the first time. Prendergast, second time of asking, drives it over the bar. Prendergast, who got 4 in the quarter-final last year when Waterford went under narrowly to Cork, and he's got away from John Gardner this time. Second time of asking after he'd been hooked, got enough space, and he's made it 1-9 to 8 points.
Yeah, and Cork backs to the wall now, Ger, but they're great champions. They're not going to go down without a fight, so let's look for let's look for the fight back now. I'd love to see that goal again. Dan Shanahan's touch was unbelievable for it.
Cork being asked questions. Niall McCarthy ready to respond, dropping it in towards Brian Corcoran. He's scored many times before against Waterford. Ball comes out here, missed by a couple of players. Joe Dean taking it up here, 20 metres out. Back it comes towards Neil Ronan, and Neil Ronan puts it over the bar. We could be in for a great second half. The match that everybody has anticipated. This the build-up to this latest score here. Joe Dean and Timmy McCarthy. Dean getting there first, but it'll knock back to Ronan, and that's his third of the day. A goal between them. Memories come flooding back of 2004 and that classic Munster final. Waterford trying to beat the champions. Jerry O'Connor with other ideas, trying to get into an All-Ireland final once again. And there's Ben O'Connor. First touch wasn't good. Comes out once again here. Owen Murphy is fouled, and that's going to be a free out for Waterford. Just for a moment there, Ben O'Connor had a really good chance.
Yeah, I think it was a great save by Owen, a great flick block by Owen Murphy, or a hook on Ben O'Connor. Here's the goal again, Jared. Just watch the Dan Shanahan's feet here. Watch this little touch layoff, absolutely brilliant skill. And Owen McGrath really should have headed for the goal and finished. Great save by Don Logue, another good save. And Owen Kelly, you know, right man in the right place, because he's very cool in that position.
Now the makings of some engagement here. Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Oh, Dan Shanahan right alongside him. Shanahan does well. Sullivan goes back, tries to make sure, keeping it away there from Owen McGrath. Helped out by John Gardner. Under pressure. Yellow carded in the first half, John Gardner. His team under enormous pressure in the opening 4 minutes of this second half. So far they've conceded a goal and a point. And Justin McCarthy must be mightily pleased. Long way to go. Owen McGrath from Mount Sion ready to cut it as John Allen watches. Right across to Sean O'Halpine. Safe delivery into the half-forward line. Broken down there by Niall McCarthy. Timmy McCarthy trying to take it away from himself and away from Brian Phelan in particular. Takes the shoulder. McCarthy dropping it in there dangerously. Clinton Hennessy coming out, secure as ever. Hand passed away here as far as Tom Feeney. It's the Guinness All-Ireland hurling semi-final. The first, the second one coming up next Sunday. Clare against Kilkenny. Who'll make it to the final? First Sunday of September this year. Niall McCarthy for the champions. It's a huge one. It's dropping. It lands just outside. Still looking for his first point in this match. Great atmosphere, and John Allen there saying there was an elbow used on one of his players. It may have been McCarthy.
Yeah, I think it was Brian Phelan coming across, just caught Timmy McCarthy when he cut back inside. But Brian Gavin is not taking. In fairness, he's letting the game flow. Very few frees. And Waterford in particular giving away very few frees at the back. They've only conceded 1 point from the free since the game started.
Well, in the frees in the first half, Waterford got 9, Cork got 3. They were level at that stage, 8 points apiece. Ronan Curran now driving it towards Timmy McCarthy. Batted down there by James Murray, excelling at left half back. Feeling under pressure there from Niall McCarthy. Timmy McCarthy now. The McCarthy brigade together. It's Timmy looking for another one, and that's over the bar. 3 points by Timmy McCarthy. Probably the most misunderstood player on this Cork hurling team over the last number of years. People wondered, what did he do? He's showing them today.
Yeah, Jaron, really, he's a Croke Park specialist. You know, how many times has he come here on the big day in Croke Park in particular and produced the goods for Cork? And you know, it's great for him because he's a very hard worker off the ball a lot of the time, and he's getting his reward today.
The margin is down to 2 points. Waterford come back again. Owen McGrath challenged strongly. Back out towards Michael Brick Walsh, now playing out around midfield, remember. Lobbed in, Cusack lets it run by. He had it under control anyway, and that's Waterford's first win of the second half, and their 6th in all. They lead, as you can see, by 1-9 to 10 points. Michael Brick Walsh is also a very fine footballer, playing today in his 20th championship match. Donald Cusack. Not such a good puck out. It's Michael Brick Walsh who wins this one. Fouled. Free to Waterford.
Yeah, I think he played for that free. Just he saw Jerry O'Connor nowhere to go, just flicked it on and walked into him.
Certainly did.
But Cork have come back very well. You know, hit with 1-1 straight away. They've scored the last 2 points. settle themselves back into the game. I think they should move Sean Ogg back out onto the wing. He's not a natural corner back, and let Brian Murphy back in there. Sean Ogg wouldn't have any doubt, any worries about hurling on John Milan or anybody else, but that's where they need him.
Ken McGrath hitting this free. Huge one over the bar from an enormous distance. It was out near the sideline. It added to the distance, and Ken McGrath has pointed a second long-range free. That's 110 to 10 points. Huge distance out on a still afternoon. We had rain during half-time. It seems to have eased. And that line ball is going to be to Cork. Ben O'Connor yet to score. Had a possible goal opportunity during the second half. So the ball was knocked away from him with a little hook. Quite a duel in there between Tom Feeney and Brian Corcoran. Well, Ben O'Connor has pointed from this distance in the past. Angle just about enough for him if he decides to try and go for it. He's having a go. Drops short. Keeper does well. Clinton Hennessy. Good calmness. Good composure. Great delivery. Pressure back down on the Cork half-backs near the sideline. Ronan Curran kicking it forward here. Dodging around is Jerry O'Connor. Michael Brick Walsh trying to get after him. It's O'Connor accelerating, driving forward and firing it over the bar. His first point. Cork's two midfielders have shared in the scoring, both of them coming from play. The margin's down to 2 again, but it was Jerry O'Connor's wonderful determination. Great pace, great skill.
Yeah, Jerry, it's nearly as if he said to himself, we need a score and I'm going to get it here. He just took off, and a great score off his left side.
When they were in difficulty against Limerick in Thurles in the quarter-final, it was players like Jerry O'Connor and indeed Niall McCarthy as well who stepped up on that occasion and excelled in the closing minutes. John Gardner. Huge ball forward. Owen Murphy here. Opted to keep it in play because he was aware of the presence there of Joe Dean under pressure near the end line. All the way down towards John Milan. Sholago Halpin has come out there once again towards the half-back line. That's blocked down there as Neil Ronan was trying to fire it in. Tony Brown slipping. This is really a problem for the players. James Murray kept going along the line there to Owen McGrath into open space. A bit of a race on here. David O'Sullivan coming out trying to win the race, but it's McGrath who's got it up into a stick. He's got a support player there. It's Seamus Prendergast, halted by Ronan Curran, blocked down by Ronan Curran, and O'Halpin in there to pick up the pieces. 20 metres out from his own goal, into space, but there's nobody there except Tony Brown, virtually unchallenged. Brian Corcoran now arriving, made up a lot of ground. Back to Tom Feeney, whose left thigh is heavily strapped, I notice. Comes out to Pat Mulcahy. Seamus Prendergast trying to keep it back. John Milan, good challenge, great challenge indeed by Ronan Curran. Wonderful commitment by players on both teams. Biggest match of the year as far as they're concerned. Place in the final at stake. Tom Feeney on his left-hand side, blocked down there by Joe Dean. Bottled in the corner. Such intensity. Will the referee end it with a throw? I think he will. Well, before they can bring in the scrummers next year from another code, the lads just testing out the sod over there. Paul Flynn being prepared, coming in for his 36th championship match. He's coming on in place of Jack Kennedy.
Yeah, it's a type of game that will suit him, Joe, with the drop of rain. There'll be lads slipping and sliding, and he'll read the game well. You won't see him rushing in, and you'll expect him to pick up a break or two around that full forward line.
Well, he'll also take over the frees, one presumes, although they haven't been a major problem for Waterford, as Owen Murphy gets it down. Stopped. One back once again here by Jerry O'Connor, taking off the helmet. Joe Dean now, on his left-hand side. Nice little flick, but he's put the ball wide.
Jerry, the players are slipping all over the place. Again, they're, Jerry O'Connor first, an easy chance for him normally, and then Joe Dean. They're finding it very, very hard to keep their feet. But apart from that, what a game we have. The commitment, the pace of the game. It's not maybe as classic as 2 years ago in the Munster final, but in its own way, it's just as intriguing and a brilliant contest.
I think the thing is, just enjoy it.
Enjoy it. It's super effort and brilliant hurling.
Really is. Seamus Prendergast fouled, book shown there to Ronan Curran.
But I think, sure, that's the point I make. In my book, it's just as much a classic as the Munster final 2 years ago. It's a different type of game. It doesn't have to be all flashy scores to be a great game, but this is a great battle between two super teams.
And there's no safety net.
No safety net. Whoever, They've so much to lose. Cork's 3 in a row, or Waterford to get to an Ireland final for the first time in years.
This is interesting. Owen Kelly is staying with the freeze. Justin McCarthy has left it to the number 8. He's been in good form, and why not? That's now a goal and 5 points for Owen Kelly. The goal from play, the 5 points coming from freeze, and a goal the margin. Donald Logue once again. This time looking for a bit of movement by McCarthy, who was opening up the middle by taking a run to his right, and it has opened up here with difficulty for Brian Corcoran. He's fouled, and that's what Cork do so well. Sometimes you don't see it. The goalkeeper waits, and then the half-forwards break in different directions, waiting for a burst to come, and this was the burst that was made here by the number 14.
Yeah, and a super first touch as well. Jared, wet ball, slippy ball, and just a great touch by Corcoran.
So the players taking the opportunity then to dry the handles of the sticks. Referee Brian Gavin pleased to have a little break as well, it seems. Joe Dean has pointed one so far. This is 45 metres out, straight in front of the goal. You'd normally put your life on that particular one with very good reason. He's put it over. And so it's 1-11 to 12. Cork still those 2 points behind. Champions still with work to do. Waterford trying to get into their first final since 1963. Quite a contrast when you think about it, as Dan Shanahan argues the toss over there about whose ball it should be. Waterford with 2 All-Ireland wins against Cork with 30.
Puck out was very, very high from Clinton Hennessy. Great distance, but very difficult for half hour to get under that ball. It was hanging for a long time there.
Sean O'Halpine. Easily taken there by Michael Walsh. Spooning it ahead there to Dan Shanahan. 1 point so far, that from a mistake line ball. Pressure here on Brian Murphy. Real pressure there being exerted by Owen Kelly. Murphy does well. Very compact player. Makes very few mistakes. Pat Mulcahy driving it ahead there towards Ben O'Connor. This is Jerry O'Connor. The two O'Connors, the twins, have taken off their helmets at virtually the same time. What's that they say about twins? Referee in, pointing to the spot. So it'll be a throw to end that stalemate situation. Michael Walsh leaving it here for Brian Phelan, but it's Walsh who takes it up. Gleefully playing it ahead here for Dan Shanahan, fumbling, then winning it back again. O'Halpine's after him. It's Shanahan going forward. He's got 11 goals so far in Championship hurling. Would love another. Kicked out with difficulty. O'Sullivan, tricky conditions, out to the sideline. More pressure on the Cork backs. That'll be Waterford's sideline ball. 15.5 minutes into the second half. That goal in the opening minutes, scored by Owen Kelly of the second phase of play. I wonder how important it's going to be at the end of the 70 minutes. James Murray to hit it, making a wonderful connection this time. Diarmuid O'Sullivan again in some trouble there. John Moran in on top of him, and the referee once again I think is going to throw the ball in. That time Diarmuid O'Sullivan went to the ground, and he had Moran in on top of him immediately.
He lost possession here. I think he made sure he got it in under, and there was no moving him there anyway.
So the referee for the third time in the second half will throw the ball between two players. He's trying to keep the game flowing. Jerry O'Connor against Seamus Prendergast. Cork win it back. Ronan Curran. Nobody near him. Absolutely nobody near him. He could have carried it another 10 metres. Lobbed in towards Joe Dean, dangerously in. There's pushing and shoving in there. Referee has spotted it. It's going to be a free out to Waterford. Well, Clinton Hennessy, I think, has just taken the extra second, making sure anyway. And Owen Murphy looking around. There you were, Joe Dean pushing Owen Murphy before the ball had landed. Keeper wasn't taking any chances. Owen Murphy, who comes from Shamrocks in Knockanore.
Yeah, Jerry, I just think I feel if Waterford to win this game, they can't afford to concede a goal. You know, that's really, you know, they might just keep their nose in front if they can keep Cork up. But if Cork get a goal, you'd expect them to go on and win it.
Well, all eyes now for a moment, I think, are on John Allen. We saw Ger Cunningham, one of the selectors, down there. Are they about to make a change? Pressure on the Cork half-back line. Dan Shanahan leaving it behind there. Once again, it's Pat Mulcahy, the captain, firing it forward there towards Brian Corcoran, who's such a good first half. Tony Brown now. Didn't go too far, went straight to Brian Corcoran, letting fly, but to the left. Missed opportunity. That's Cork's 10th wide in this match, and it's their 3rd of the second half. Real difficulties for the champions.
Joe Dean gone in full forward now. Owen Murphy has followed him. We're obviously hoping to get in there to nick a goal, get him more involved in the game. But I think Waterford have to start winning some possession from the puckouts. They're really struggling nearly right throughout the game to win anything. On Curran and Gardner in particular winning an awful lot of ball in the air.
If that is the case, why is Justin's team still ahead?
Yeah, I know. They're winning. They're using any chance they get. I suppose they're taking them well. Owen Kelly has hit the freeze very well. You know, so it's one of those days. Cork again are, you know, look like they're going to score maybe they're 17 or 18 or 19 points as usual, but it's goals that hurt teams in championship. Cork don't score a lot of them, and that's why Waterford are still ahead.
That Owen Kelly goal, so important.
So important, yeah.
Fans are enjoying it. Great atmosphere here. Bit of a Munster Championship all the way up in Croke Park. Big attendance as well, 61,753 people. Brian Phelan being attended to and repaired, no doubt, ready for action again. Player has played most of his career back as a half-back, sometimes as a cornerback as well.
And he's done much better in the second half. Tom Kenny really has been out of the game the second half so far.
And that was the trend against Limerick as well. Great first half, struggle in the second. Michael Welch getting away from Jerry O'Connor. Still Michael Welch. Now leading a support player. The support player is Phelan. Lobbed in dangerously. Keeper comes. Oh, really good touch. He's the best in the business. Donald O'Cusa getting it out here. Swept away forward by Pat Mulcahy. Fumbled back there by James Murray. Coming in is Neil Ronan. Dodging away. Trying to get it on his stick. Difficult. Keeping his footing. 45 metres out when he let fly, but wide of the target again. The shooting isn't too good. Too many wides, too many missed opportunities. Well, this time, Brian Phelan, you wonder whether he's going to be able to continue. Again, it's a cramp.
Yeah, Jared, this is the crucial period. You know, for the last 3 years, 4 years, at this time, Cork normally, you know, really power into the game and pull away from their opponents, and they've done it so often. They've come out of tight games and won them. So now the next 5 minutes is crucial for Waterford to win. They have to stay that couple of points ahead and keep Cork at bay and seeking to kick on themselves and win it. But this is when Cork are really dangerous. Their fitness levels are legendary at this stage. You know, they normally finish very, very strongly.
Well, as you can see, Shane O'Sullivan has come in. He started the quarter-final, not selected to start today. Well, O'Sullivan comes in for his 9th championship experience. Now, what kind of a difference will that make? Jerry O'Connor. Cork haven't made any changes so far from the starting 15. They work it to Ronan Curran. What do we say about Cork not doing panic? Well, there's now 15 minutes left. Declan Prendergast. As far as Owen McGrath. At left half back when he hit that one. Up as far as John Moran. Beating Diarmuid O'Sullivan too. He's taking the rock way out of position. Pat Mulcahy's gone back there, helped by Sean O'Halpine, who's playing everywhere. Wherever Dan Shanahan goes, he goes as well. It may have had an unsettling effect on Cork at the back on occasions. Niall McCarthy injured and fouled. And Cork are about to make a change. And Cathal Naughton, a wing forward from Newton Shandrum, former minor, is coming on for Neil Ronan, who scored 3 points. And a yellow card there for Seamus Prendergast. So changes as Ronan goes off. He'll be very disappointed with that because he scored 3 points. This is up now towards the new man in, Cathal Naughton. Can he make a difference? What about that for a start? What about that for a point? Huge point by Cathal Naughton. And the margin is 2 points once again. This was a beauty. First touch Magnificent. So it's down to a 1 point difference, 111 to 13 points. Now who's going to win it? Diarmuid O'Sullivan, challenged there by Seamus Prendergast.
And I think the Waterford players are incensed with O'Sullivan's tackle that he got away without a free. We'll have to see it. No, it was before that. This is the foul on him now, which is just for pulling the jersey back. It was just when the puck out was breaking.
Lots and lots of things happening. Waterford fans unhappy with what happened before the foul on Diarmuid O'Sullivan. The referee has given the free to Cork. It is to be taken by Diarmuid O'Sullivan himself.
This Cathal Nocton's a flyer, Gerard. I saw a lot of him with Newtown Shandrum over the last couple of years. Really pacey player.
He's been introduced, but Waterford now still with a 1 point advantage as Ken McGrath is bundled over on the 20-metre line. It'll be a free out to Waterford, and they will need to remain calm and steady and focused because there are only about 12 minutes to play. Our panel were talking about ending level at the end of the 70 minutes. We'll have to wait and see.
And they haven't scored for a long time, apart from Owen Kelly's pointed free. You know, they haven't got a score from play for a long time now. They really need a score to settle them.
Pressure once again on the Cork backs. Brian Murphy getting it out there to Sean O'Halpine. They swap it around there to Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Up it comes once again towards Joe Dean, adding to it on towards Brian Corcoran, slipping to the ground. Ken McGrath's there trying to get primary possession, but Dean comes in again, giving it away from Murphy, flipping it inside to Nocton. He's got another chance. He's going to go in the 59th minute. What a substitution as Cork shoot into the lead. Joe Dean feeding it in here to another man with a golden helmet, with a golden touch. And that's his first goal in Championship hurling. 2 touches for Cathal Nocton, and he's got a goal and a point. That's what you call an impact sub. Now what can Waterford do? They've got a free. Michael Walsh was fouled. Now where's the money on? Such tension. It can go either way. No question about that. Has it swung back in John Allen's favour? I think those are Waterford faces we're looking at. Cork are lifted, but Waterford can get to within a point again if this goes over the bar. It's Owen Kelly, 1-5 so far. Low trajectory this time. Off O'Halpine. He needs another old Donald O'Cusack to come out. Jersey pulled by John Milan. Free out. The champions are fired up. What a substitution to make. This was Donald O'Cusack just before he was fouled here. No question about it.
Definitely a yellow card for John Milan there. But Owen Kelly, you know, when they needed that free to be knocked over the bar, mishit it. But just back to the goal, Ger, for a second. Great work by Corcoran again in the corner. But Joe Dean, I think something that he's been doing very well this year. He's laying off great ball all around him for a lot of scores, and he left a lovely ball into Cathal Nocton. What a substitution. I was going to criticise Neil Rowan being taken off, but it's hard to argue with that with the Cork selectors. It's really worked out for them.
They may have got it absolutely spot on again. They have so far. From the free, 2 against 1. Tony Brown needs a second touch. Comes spilling out here towards Michael Walsh again. Again is challenged by the other 14, Brian Corcoran. High up into the air. Back down once again. This time, it's Ben O'Connor to Jerry O'Connor. Steadying himself. Looking to put a bit more life between the teams. That's another. Jerry O'Connor's got a second point. It's almost like last year's championship meeting again, when Waterford went close but not quite close enough. They are now 3 points adrift, 114 to 111. 8 minutes and counting to go. John Milan slips. Brian Murphy takes it out. It comes towards Jerry O'Connor, leaves it for Ben this time. Back there to help. Brian, he's gone off. Back there helping out is Shane Sullivan and Tony Brown. This is Timmy McCarthy. Still trying to get it to the corner here. Tony Brown trying to get it back. Foul the man. Did he? The referee says play on. Comes out to Brian Corcoran. Looks at the target. And disgusted with himself the minute he hit it. Knew it was going wide. But so much intensity on all those faces. Puck out quickly taken. Referee wants it taken again. From a Waterford point of view, that might not be a bad thing because they weren't going to win it. Let's go down to the sideline once again to Marty.
Yes, indeed, Ger, but as you were discussing there with Michael, there was a large and a very lengthy debate about whether to bring in Cathal Naughton or not. It was his second, possibly his third time warming up, and finally, after about a 3-minute debate, they finally brought him in. So a point of discussion, but what a substitution, as you said.
Well, it's worked so far. Now, what's the Waterford response? Here's Michael Walsh, taking off, trying to make headway, wins a free. The referee decides. He's looking at Sean O'Halfine. He's pointing towards his neck where the challenge was high in the referee's view. Not much contact there. Free awarded, however. Chance for Waterford. It's 25 metres out from goal. Well, Waterford will be aware of the perilous situation they are in right now. A goal behind. They have battled hard. And it's Owen Kelly against Donald O'Cusack and the rest of the backs. Will he just tap it over the bar from this distance out? He will. And that's a goal and 6 for Owen Kelly out of Waterford's total. 2 between them, 114 to 112. It's been a fascinating match, and it's not over by any means. Donald O'Cusack taking his time. Wants to get into an All-Ireland final for the 4th year in a row. And his first one, remember, was back in 99, and he's taken too long about it. And the referee is going to take the ball from him, and the advantage will be lost. And the referee is saying, we're going to throw it on the 20-metre line. That's the punishment. And Waterford have it. And it's Owen McGrath over his right shoulder, and he's put the ball wide. No more of that, I'm sure. The other Cork players will be telling their netminder. No dallying this time. 5.5 minutes are left. First of the Guinness All-Ireland Hurling semi-finals for this year. Coming in to take it, Jerry O'Connor. Release there to Tom Kenny, and it's well wide. And that's 13 wides for Cork. And the Waterford wide tally, 7. Well, the Waterford players will be aware of the different officials forming guards around the stadium. Always an indicator that the game is close to the finish. But there's only a 2-point difference. Hurley lost. Hurley thrown that time by Seamus Prendergast, and that's going to be a free to Cork. They look desperate at this stage, clinging on there to the hope that they might yet make it.
Yeah, and the failing, we've talked about it earlier in the half, the puckouts, they're just not winning any possession at all against the Cork half backline. And Ronan Curran, particularly in the last 10 or 15 minutes, has become very dominant. And Sean Oak has had an immense game, I think, from the start of the game. He's been everywhere.
Just looking at that in reprise again there, Ronan Curran seemed to be pulling Seamus Prendergast's jersey as he was going down.
Yeah, there was a bit about that goes on, you know, and it's sometimes the referee gets caught in the blind side.
John Allen once again having words there with Ger Cunningham, one of his selectors, trusted, confidant. Justin McCarthy, little chat with Owen McGrath. They can only watch as Joe Dean lines up this free some 50 metres out to widen the margin to 3 points. He's done it. A third pointed free for Dino. 115 to 112. Are Cork to make it through to the final on the first Sunday in September? Is there a Waterford response yet? Ronan Curran has left it. John Milan fires, and John Milan puts it over the bar. They're not finished just yet. That's the third for the De La Salle player. 115 to 113. Watch this once again. It was stolen away by Seamus Prendergast onto the on-running John Milan, and quick as you like, he arrows it over the bar.
Great score by Milan, and he's very sharp today. You know, he's got 3 good scores. They have to keep plugging away, not panic.
Ken McGrath. He'll keep on trying. Just over 3 minutes of the 70 still to play. Dan Shanahan, only 1 point in this game. Across beautifully to McGrath to put the minimum between the teams with his first point. 67 minutes are gone. Cork were opened up. Look at the gaps. Look, there was nobody on McGrath, and that's over the bar.
Yeah, brilliant diagonal ball, Gerard. You can't defend a diagonal ball like that. A great first touch by Eoin McGrath over the bar.
Niall McCarthy's gone off the Cork team. He's replaced by Kieran Murphy of Sarsfields. Murphy coming on for his 15th game in the championship. All of them in recent years. Very successful recent years. Is it set to continue? 1 point the margin. Michael Walsh picks it up and drops it. Ben O'Connor in. Possession is going to be so vital now. And use of possession. Up to Cathal Naughton. Looking for a player to support him. Again, it's Ben O'Connor. Opening up wide towards Joe Dean. Gets there first ahead of Owen Murphy. There's a support player. Holds on to it. Dina, who got the last. Outside here to Tom Kenny. Lobbed in. It's dropping short. Clinton Hennessy, the one thing that Cork didn't want. And now there's a chance for a counter-attack for the challengers. Repelled by Ronan Curran magnificently at 4 Waterford players near him. Out to Sean O'Halpine. Back in once again towards Brian Corcoran. Runs on. Clinton Hennessy. 68 and a half minutes are gone. Bad ball out towards Dean. Fouled by Ken McGrath. He's furious. He's absolutely incensed with that. It's given Cork an opportunity of having a free. This is the challenge again here. Came from behind, and the referee had no doubt. Again, he slipped in the ground there, Ken McGrath. I'm sure that'll be part of his excuse. He's got a yellow card for his troubles, and that's now 3 yellow cards dished out to Waterford players. 1 for Cork, John Gardner. Yeah, we're in the last minute.
Clinton Hennessy there, a little bit more composure, long clearance down the field. You know, he put Ken McGrath in that position, half-hit clearance, and you know, he did lunge in. You have to keep your feet in the air like today.
Brian Corcoran waits inside, but Joe Dean, I'm sure, will try and put it over the bar from here. It's about 40 metres out because of the angle and the distance from the posts. It's not easy, but he's a master. It's his first, or his 4th rather in all. First for a couple of minutes, and there'll be 2 minutes of additional time to play. It's 1:16 to 1:14. Gathered in well by Seamus Prendergast, and now a goal could win it for Waterford. John Moran firing it over the bar. It's back to a 1-point game. Well, if they got the ball down fast to players like John Moran earlier on, especially when there was that fumble by Clinton Hennessy, they mightn't have found themselves in arrears by 2 before he put that one over. 2 minutes to play, stoppage time. Does any team deserve to lose this? Cork are edging it. Champions try to hold on. Ben O'Connor fumbles. Line ball to Waterford. Oh, the pressure, the tension, the drama. You can see it on the faces. Tony Brown, ready to hit this one. Man made his championship debut back in 1992. Never played in an All-Ireland final. How he'd love to. All the way through. Denied again by Ronan Curran. Meandering his way out to Sean O'Halpine. They just need to hold on. There's a minute left after this. In towards Corcoran. Holding on is important. He's lost it to Ken McGrath. There's a chance for Waterford. That's a poor clearance. Still in play. But it's not any longer, and it's Cork's line ball. There was nothing Tony Brown could do about it. The pressure back on the Daisha. 50 seconds left to play. First of the semi-finals. If the second is just as eventful next Sunday afternoon between Kilkenny and Clare, it should certainly be well worth watching. Cork have 1 foot in a final. Look at the faces. Distraught Waterford fans. Is the game up for their team? 30 seconds left. Ben O'Connor mishits, but it gets there as far as Kieran Murphy. Back once again towards O'Connor. That ball's gone wide. This has to be it. 20 seconds left. Clinton Hennessy firing it down the field. Will the Daisha get another chance? Will they get another score? Again, it's Ronan Curran. What a game he's played. He was taken off against Waterford last year because he played poorly against Seamus Prendergast. Today, he's been magnificent. But James Murray and Waterford might have the last say in this game. Tony Brown, closed down. Again they close it down. The referee is calling for the ball. Is that it? No, it's not. No, it's not. There's still time. It's got to be a free. It's a free to Waterford. The way the referee was acting there, a lot of the players and many of the fans thought it was the final whistle that was just about to come. That's the challenge there by Ben O'Connor, which the referee has penalised. Didn't see a lot of that.
No, I think Tony Brown came under pressure there. A bad pass out to him, lost possession.
Look, this is what it's about now. John Allen, Dr. Con Murphy watch. Ken McGrath is 65 metres out from his own goal. We are over time. His side are a point behind. Will they get a draw? Will it land over the bar? It's hit the post and it's come out! Cork are hanging on there. They wait for the whistle. There is no whistle. The referee says play away. Ben O'Connor's back there. Brian Corcoran's back there at left corner back. Still 116 to 115. Waterford refusing to give up. The referee continuing to play the time. We've played over 3 minutes at this stage. Who's going to win it? It's taken out here in the end by Tom Kenny. Out it comes. Waterford looking at the ball back. The referee giving them the time. That's a high challenge there by Seamus Prendergast on Brian Murphy. That's the final whistle. It's all over. What an eventful game. Cork have shown the character, the skill, the commitment to come back and deny gallant Waterford, who were absolutely crestfallen. They gave it everything they had, but the experience of the champions was manifest once again in the last 20 minutes. On the line, they made the changes. They replaced Neil Ronan, who had scored 3 fabulous points, with Cathal Naughton, a youngster from Newton Shandrum, who got a point with his first touch, a goal with his second after 59 minutes. And this is the difference between success and failure on the day in this most magnificent championship. Waterford absolutely down, out and shattered. It's hard to blame them. They will feel that they at least deserved a draw. But it's Cork who are in a 4th final in a row. The champions win by 116 to 115. Some match. Let's go down to Marty.